Hello there. Shauna White here, Heartfelt Intimacy Coach. And today I wanted to talk about the misunderstood avoidant. Just have to go live in all the places. One moment, please. Okay. I'm live in all the places now. Oh, what's happening? Something weird. Hang on a second. Oh, it doesn't look good. Yeah. Interesting. Okay. Never mind that other place. I'll just speak here if you're still with me. Thanks for hanging out. So, the misunderstood avoidant. This is my topic for today. And I'm talking specifically to a communication dynamic, sometimes regarded as an attachment style dynamic, but I see it primarily as a communication dynamic. But there are some features of personality that are involved. So, what I'm talking about is how often we have this dynamic where someone is more anxious and their partner is more avoidant. And the anxious and the avoidant are like the banes of each other's existence, triggering each other, right? But what happens from the perspective of the anxious is that the avoidant tends to look cold, or they look shut down, inaccessible, and less feelingful because they are less expressive. But what is interesting, as I've been exploring this with people, my observation is that the avoidant is actually often a highly sensitive person. And what happens is that when the anxious attacher gets off balance or triggered, that partner tends to express their unresolved emotion in whatever way makes sense and appears to not satisfy the emotion, but at least communicate that emotion. The avoidant person feels that energy coming at them, and they're like, this is too overwhelming. They feel the pressure, they feel the fear, they feel the emotional energy, the distortion, if you will. And when I say distortion, I'm not trying to say that it's bad. But what I mean by distortion is, the reason I use that word is because divine love, which is the baseline for harmony, the energy of divine love is a perfectly coherent signal. It is the definition of coherence. When we feel connected to divine love, we can tap into that coherence, and that's where we tap into flow, and where we're able to connect with our partner with empathy, with balanced empathy, and communicate in a way that develops intimacy naturally. When we deviate from our ability to feel that energetic signature of divine love, then what happens is the energy that we feel instead is a deviation from that energy of divine love. And the degree to which it's a deviation from that energy signature of divine love, that coherent signal, that is the degree to which it is a distortion. So if something comes up in a relationship and one of the partners is feeling like, oh my God, I don't understand what's going on here, and I'm upset and I feel really uncomfortable, and I need to talk about this, those energies are a deviation from the coherent signature of divine love. There's nothing wrong with wanting to talk about something. And I'm not saying that the feelings are bad. I'm just, we have to understand what things are, right? So we just talk about what things are without necessarily putting a value judgment on them. That's an important feature of growing quickly into beautiful things, that we have to be able to understand distinctions, make distinctions about what things are and what they are not without putting any value judgments on them. So that energy of I'm feeling disturbed, I'm feeling upset, I don't understand, I want to resolve this. Yes, we want to resolve things. It's okay that you feel disturbed, but that energy is a deviation from the coherent signature of love. Now, but when we communicate from a place of fear and emotional urgency, what happens is that energy that's a deviation from the signature of love gets pushed pushed through our communication towards the person we're communicating to. And when someone is highly sensitive and not necessarily super practiced and grounded at maintaining their own space, their own inner sanctuary, which most of us are not. That's an advanced skill, to be able to have someone directing some emotional energy at you. They're talking, someone that you love too, is talking with you, with talking at you or towards you with intensity, to be able to maintain the sanctuary of your inner space under that circumstance is an advanced skill. So, as you have a highly sensitive person or a sensitive person who is receiving that kind of energy towards them, and particularly they're a more gentle person, they will not push back. They won't strike back. They'll shrink, and they will get confused, and they will need to go away and be by themselves to figure it out. And that can look avoidant. And if they try to talk about something and their partner gets anxious, they might not want to talk about things because they might not be able to. They might not be able to function under that kind of duress, so to speak, under that kind of stress. And so you can have the manifestation of avoidant behavior, but it's not that you have a cold, callous partner or dysfunctional partner. You actually have a high functioning, in a sense, you have a high functioning partner because you have a sensitive partner. But what's needed to allow that communication dynamic to work in a more functional way is that the emotional energy has to be chilled out and emotional safety developed. So this is what happens is if one partner gets anxious, fearful, and comes with that emotional energy into the conversation, and the other partner is a sensitive person, then you're going to have this case where the sensitive person, because they can't navigate the situation in the ways that I was talking about, they get overwhelmed. They're going to feel like it's not emotionally safe to be in this conversation. So they clam up and they don't want to talk about things. So in order to, if you have that dynamic going on, in order to bring conversation back into a healthy stream, you have to fix that dynamic that's interrupting the emotional safety for the partner that's disengaging. In order to get that partner to engage again, some measure of emotional stability has to be developed so that this sensitive partner feels safe enough to be in the conversation about the difficult things with the anxious partner, so that it's safe to work it out together. And then they'll be likely to open up. So that's some food for thought. If you think that your partner is avoidant and you feel like How come they don't care? How come they're shut down? How come they just don't even want to talk about it? I can't deal with this. Consider that that your partner is probably feeling overwhelmed, could be feeling overwhelmed. You can ask them, but you've got to ask them in a calm way or they're not going to answer you. But yeah, so consider that your partner may be really sensitive and overwhelmed, and that they need your gentleness and they need your patience, and that they can't be your rock. You have to be your own rock. You have to find how to gather the resources inside yourself to chill out and have more peace on your own, and then bring that peace to how you sort out the struggles in your relationship. And that in and of itself is also an advanced skill, to be able to, when things don't feel right in your relationship and you want to talk about it, to be able to come to that conversation, to open that conversation in a way that feels slow and patient and gentle and safe. That is that's an advanced skill. That's a skill I help people with when I coach people. But that's what's needed to help normalize the ability to have those kinds of difficult conversations when you have a sensitive partner. Alrighty, those are my thoughts about the misunderstood avoidant today. And if you've experienced either side of that dynamic, put in the comments. If you've been on the avoidant side and you felt like, yeah, I don't know where my partner goes. Wait, did I say avoidant? If you've been on the anxious side, that's what I meant to say, and you feel like, yeah, I don't know where my partner goes, then put hashtag anxious in the comments. And if you've been on the avoidant side and you can relate to what I said about feeling sensitive and overwhelmed when your partner comes with that emotional energy to try to sort something out with you and you just feel like, oh my God, I can't do it, then put hashtag avoidant in the comments. All right. And otherwise, I will see you tomorrow. Take care.